Hey everyone, great to talk to you. It's been a little while here. I wanted everyone to finish out the season. I think I have one client that's moved on to nationals in a couple weeks. Congrats to them. We all understand how difficult it is to play for nationals and how hard the process is. And so I think it's a good learning lesson for everyone. But for the most part, I want you guys that the season has ended, I want you to take the time to reflect. I think it's important that for all players, even parents, to reflect on what went well this past 6, 7 months and what would I do differently in order to be better in the future. And I think that moving forward here as we come to the end of March, I think that there's a huge gap to make huge strides over the next 6 months leading into August. And that's why it's important that right now we get down, maybe for the most of you, you've taken a week or a couple weeks off just to get refreshed, refocused, and before you start up in your off-season training. But I do believe it's a process, and I do believe that you have to learn from your past, and you have to really dig down and dig deep internally and look inside and go, how can I be better? And that's what this really is all about, is how can I become more valuable to what the market wants and what our coaches want or a particular team wants. And so sometimes, like I say, we can change direction instantly, but it takes time to get there. And that's why, for everyone nowadays, everyone's always got instant, we're on Instagram or Snapchat or anything like that, or you can order something and have it arrive at your door the next day on Amazon. But there's no app for patience. And I think that everyone that's involved in my program, yes, there's a lot of work that goes into having success in sports, but we have to be mindful to know that this is a process, and there's a lot of patience that needs to be involved from a player and for parents as well. And to understand, as long as we're moving in the right direction, maybe it's not the results that I want right now, but as long as we're moving towards and you feel good about which way you're going and new things that you're learning, that's the most important thing. But I do feel that we can all do better. And I think as a player, when I was playing, it's tough to look inwards. You're always constantly looking outwards about what he or she's doing or what the coach is doing, as opposed to how can I be better? And that's the question you need to ask. And what do you need to be doing to set yourself up to take that next step in development, whether it's physically, mentally. These things are all instrumental in moving you in the right direction. And so I want you to continue working at this, and hopefully you stay involved in my programs, because I do feel it's important. I think that most people miss the boat on this, and they feel that, hey, I only do this for a certain period of time and then I don't need it anymore. That's where I think everyone misses it. And I think it's a constant process. I think that you have to find ways to be disciplined in order to do things that you're expected to do and what's going to be required at the next level. And, that takes a lot of time and work. But that's why you're here. That's why you're playing at the level you are. If you want to strive to play at higher levels, much more is required, and you need to become a lot more valuable to the marketplace. And that's what we're going to focus on over the next 6 months moving forward, is becoming that more valuable player in person. So teams, coaches, different organizations start to become a little bit more aware of what you have to provide for each or a particular team or at a certain level. And so I'm going to put the onus back on you, is how can you be better? What are things that you need to be doing on a more consistent basis? I think with kids being involved in this program, you know what's expected. You know what you need to be doing. There's not a lack of resources in that category. It's whether we do them on a day-to-day basis. And I think that that's why it helps to have a mentor, and that's why you need to tap into your mentor to make sure to keep yourself accountable, one, and make sure that you're going in the right direction. I think it's a must. And so that's why I wanted to write down below this video. There'll be a few questions for you to answer. looking back and reflecting on this season. Parents can do this as well if you're watching this video, to take the time and go, what can we do a little bit better than we did in this past 6-7 months, or what went well, and how can we take my son or you as a player where I am now to the next level? What's the process? And so I think it gets a little to take a look at things and dive a little bit deeper into developing those skills, the necessary skills that maybe you don't think are that fancy right now, but as I keep reminding everyone that's involved in my program, fundamentals and repetition of fundamentals and having that core foundation is what breeds success in sports, in this particular sport. There's not much thing, you don't have to be fancy to have success in this sport, as long as you have purpose in what you're doing, a great attitude, and obviously working on the specific skills and on and off the ice. I think that every player can do a much greater job than what they're currently doing, and that's not taking anything away from certain players that have had a lot of success this year. It's just the truth. We can all get better, and today is a great day to start that process and to start asking valuable questions to yourself, on really looking inward and going, okay, how do I do this, and what do I need to be doing, or what are the things I need to focus on more, or what are the things I need to hold myself accountable more to in order to play at levels or play on a particular team that I say I want to. There's a difference between actually saying and doing. And so I think when you're involved in my program, that's the biggest challenge for me as a mentor, is we talk about it, but it's that process between talking and actually doing. That takes time sometimes. I understand that. And that's why I'm big on patience, but as long as we're headed in the right direction, that's what's most important to me. I have a ton of patience. I know what's expected at the next levels. I know that process, and I understand that if you have patience on your side and you're doing the right things and you know you're doing the work and not cheating yourself, like, good things will happen. It just might not be now, but sooner or later, great things will happen if you're doing the right things on a consistent basis. So answer the questions below. I look forward to talking to you this week or even next week, and let's get this going. Talk soon.